you write a lot of hot checks, and because of that, you got declined for a business loan or business funding. So your bank account, it's overdrafted, it's in the negative, there's automatic debits that are getting declined, there's checks that are bouncing, and because of that, you couldn't get business funding. You were declined at your bank for a business loan because you have too many hot checks, you have too many days of negative balance, you have too many NSFs, you have too many declined transactions. Well, there are options for you. No matter how many different declines you have, no matter how many NSF days you have, there are options for your business to still get business funding, even if it's been declined for a business loan because you wrote too many hot checks, okay? Or you have too many NSFs or too many days with a negative bank balance, okay? So if your business has been declined for a bank loan or business funding because you have too many negative days in your bank account, you have too many NSFs, there are solutions for you where you can still get business funding and you can still get it really, really quickly too. All right. At guaranteedbusinessfunding.org has programs for business owners who have been declined for business funding because they have too many hot checks they've written or too many days with a negative bank balance, NSFs, etc. All right. Now with this program, it is a little bit slower. It's not a same day program. Well, it is same day if you have 4 or less NSFs. So if you have 4 or less NSFs or negative bank balance days or hot checks in a month, and it's just last month that we look at, all right? So that's just your most recent month, then we can still get you money same day. However, if you have 5 or more hot checks last month or negative balance days or NSFs, we can still get you money, but the process is just a little slower. It requires a little bit more underwriting. Okay, so it requires a little bit more underwriting, and because of that, it's a slower process. It's normally going to take you at least 5 business days to get this money normally, all right? Occasionally, we can have it done in as quickly as 3 business days, though, all right, if everything goes hunky-dory smooth, but a lot of times it's going to be at least 5 business days. And you can have an unlimited amount of NSFs in a month with this program and an unlimited amount of hot checks in a month as well. So if you have been declined for a business loan or business funding because your checkbook is hot and it's writing a lot of hot checks and you have a lot of NSFs and declines, there's still solutions out there for you. If you have 20 NSFs in a month, 30 NSFs in a month, we can still get you business funding. It's just a little slower, all right? You can get business funding if everything goes super duper well as quickly as 3 business days, but more than likely it's going to be 5 business days or around thereabouts. If you have not very many hot checks, like let's say your bank declined you for a bank loan because you wrote 4 hot checks last month. Well, if you wrote 4 hot checks last month, or if you had 4 days or less last month with a negative bank balance, or 4 or less hot checks last month, or NSFs, we can still get you money today, actually. So the less NSFs or hot checks you write, the better. But if you own a business and you've been declined for a bank loan because you wrote too many hot checks and you have too many NSFs, there are solutions for you, and those solutions are at guaranteedbusinessfunding.org. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. If you've been declined for a bank loan because you wrote too many hot checks last month and you have too many NSFs and the bank account is scaring your banker because there's so many NSFs, don't fret. It's okay. Just go to guaranteedbusinessfunding.org. Guaranteedbusinessfunding.org is guaranteed to be a better resource for you than any bank for your business needs. And the reason it is we have a lot more options. There are tens of thousands of different financial institutions in America that do business loans and business funding. And we work with a lot of them, all right? So just because one bank or even 20 banks or lending institutions you went to declined you, it doesn't mean everyone's going to decline you. Someone's going to approve you, believe it or not. So go to guaranteedbusinessfunding.org, apply for your business funding. If you have a whole lot of hot checks, like let's say you wrote 20 of them last month, well, then we can get you money in as quickly as 3 days, but it's probably going to be more like 5 business days. If you wrote just a few hot checks, let's say you wrote 3 hot checks or 4 hot checks last month, so you have 3 or 4 NSFs, well, we can still get you money today. So if you don't have very many NSFs, the underwriting or very many hot checks you've written, the underwriting process is easier and we get you money same day. For more information about how you can get business funding for your business, even if you've written a lot of hot checks, go to guaranteedbusinessfunding.org. That's guaranteedbusinessfunding.org, and you can get business money for your business funding for your company as quickly as today if you have 4 or less NSFs or hot checks, or as soon as 3 to 5 business days if you have 20 hot checks or even 30 hot checks or 10 hot checks in a month. All right? And that's guaranteedbusinessfunding.org.